Good morning, students. Hope you have studied your chapter, that is force and pressure, that we have started previous class. Now, let us proceed further in this chapter. स्टूडेंट्स प्रीवियस क्लास हम लोग यही पढ़े थे कि फोर्स क्या होता है, उसका इफेक्ट क्या है. फोर्स हमें दिखता नहीं है, सिर्फ उसका असर हमें दिखता है. टुडे वी विल स्टडी दैट हाउ इज फोर्स कॉज्ड. फोर्स कैसे होता है, और बहुत ही सिंपल, इजीली यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट इट इज कॉज्ड ड्यू टू इंटरैक्शन ऑफ टू बॉडीज. अगर हमें आपको धक्का देना है तो क्या मैं हवा में धक्का दूंगी तो आप आगे बढ़ जाएंगे? नहीं. आई हैव टू टच यू, दैट मीन्स विदाउट टचिंग आई कैन नॉट पुश, विदाउट टचिंग आई कैन नॉट पुल. आई हैव टू वॉक. क्या मैं अपने पैरों को हवा में रख के चल पाऊंगी? नहीं, ऐसा कभी नहीं होता है. सो व्हेन माय फीट कम्स इन कांटेक्ट विद द फ्लोर, मेरा पैर जब फर्श पे पड़ेगा तभी जा करके हम चल पाएंगे. दैट मीन्स व्हेन टू बॉडी comes in contact with each other, then only the force is applied. Either you will push it or you will pull it. कोई भी चीज़. Students, if you have to eat, you have to take, when your finger comes in contact with chapatis, paratha, whatever you are taking, then only we can able to take our food. When we cook, when our hands comes in contact with cutting, then everything what we are putting, नेचुरली खाना बनाते समय भी हमारा हाथ कांटेक्ट में, जब हम सोते हैं तभी भी कांटेक्ट में. व्हेन वी आर वॉकिंग देन ऑल्सो टू बॉडीज आर इन कांटेक्ट. एवरीवेयर यू विल फाइंड many of the places that force occurs when two bodies comes in contact with each other. And so many examples, student, in our house also. Now you see, you are studying, you are writing in the copy without touching pen. Can you able to write in your copy? No. Without touching your book, can you able to turn over the page? No. So without touching we cannot do it. Means when two bodies comes in contact. So I hope student आप समझ गए होंगे कि जब दो बॉडी एक साथ कांटेक्ट में आता है, then only their force is applied. So you write 5 examples in your classwork copy. Next, I want to discuss you that what happens when more than one force. Another topic, what happens when more than one force acts on a body. One force act on a body. So students, what happens to this? This is of two types. कैसे ये होता है? Let's discuss one by one. Suppose you have taken one block. More than one force act on a body. So this is body, and two of you are pushing it. Suppose A is applying force and B is also applying force, and A and B both are applying force in the same direction. So what happens? This block, suppose this position is X, and this block has came or moved and come in position Y. So students, here what happens when more than one force act in this one directions, then the body will move also in the same direction as the force is applied. This body is also moving in the same direction as the force is applied. Suppose students, A has applied 50 Newton force and B has applied 20 Newton force. So what will be the total resultant force for this case? So we are writing resultant force is equal to, resultant means total force. Result, what will be the result of this? So resultant force क्या होना चाहिए? Force applied by A, force applied by A plus force applied by B. Here force applied by A is how much? 50 Newton. 50 Newton. And force applied by B is how much? 20 Newton. So what will be the total resultant force? 70 Newton. Students, what is this N? N is nothing but Newton. That is Isaac Newton who find out this force, and given SI unit as Newton. So what is the SI unit of force? Directly we can write SI unit of force is Newton. So here, if more than two force applied on the same body, students, you have got that the body is also moving in the same direction as the applied force, or in which direction the force is applied. One case is this one. Students, let's discuss another case. Another case is, so see students, when two forces act in opposite direction. In this case, again two cases arises, और दोनों cases हम लोग अलग अलग तरीके से पढ़ेंगे. So let's start the first case. When two forces act in opposite direction, so let us take one book and let the force applied by A in front direction and force applied by B in backward direction. Okay, one is applying force in this side, another is applying force in this side. Let the force applied by A is 50 Newton and force applied by B is also 50 Newton. दोनों ही A and B opposite direction में force apply कर रहे हैं and we are doing it. So what will be the resultant force, student? Resultant force is equal to, this resultant force acts on this is equal to force applied by A, force applied by A, but students, see here, direction is opposite. So in this case, what we will see? Minus force applied by B, force applied by B. So here we will write force applied by A is 50 Newton minus force applied by B is 50 Newton. So it will be 0. So when two equal force applied in opposite direction, then its resultant will be 0. Body will not move. Body जहाँ का तहाँ वैसे ही रह जाएगा. ये move नहीं करेगा. So here two equal opposite force is applied. अगर ये दोनों equal opposite force नहीं हो तब क्या होगा? So now second case, students, you see this. Suppose we have taken a book and force applied by A is your 100 Newton and force applied by B, suppose it is 50 Newton. A धक्का दे रहा है 100 Newton, B opposite side से धक्का दे रहा है 50 Newton. So what will be the resultant force? See here, as 100 Newton is more than 50 Newton, body will move in forward direction. That means in the same direction, जिस direction में A force apply कर रहा. So here we will write the resultant force is equal to force applied by A minus force applied by B. Force applied by A is 100 Newton minus force applied by B is 50 Newton. So students, you have got the answer 50 Newton, but it is in the same direction as the force applied by A. So students, like this we are seeing that what happens when two unequal forces applied or two equal forces applied in opposite directions. We are discussing. So next, now only one more thing I'll discuss with you, that is types of force. Here we will discuss Types of force is of two types, that is contact force and non-contact force. Non-contact force. Very simply, students, you can understand, contact force means when the body comes in contact with each other. So, three types of contact force now we will discuss, and non-contact force we will discuss in next class. So, in contact force, that means when one body comes in contact with each other, means whenever you are pulling the body, whenever you are pushing the body, that is only contact force. So, first contact force is muscular force. Muscular force. What is, students, muscular force? Force applied by your muscles. Suppose हम किसी ईटा को उठा रहे, किसी ऑब्जेक्ट को उठा रहे, that means force applied by your muscles. I am writing, force applied by your muscles. I am eating, force applied by your muscles. हम कुदाली चला रहे, force applied by your muscles. So wherever force applied by your muscles, that is known as muscular force. आप पुश कीजिए या पुल कीजिए, everywhere you will find that is force applied by your muscles. So students, you please write the definition as well as 5 daily life example. Second, you come frictional force. What is this frictional force, students? Now this word is, I hope it is new for you, but you have heard friction. When friction comes into place, now you see, जब हम अपना एक पैर फर्श पे रखते हैं और हम चलने की कोशिश करते हैं, then what happens, that force applied by me in forward direction, but force applied by friction is in opposite direction. हम सामने से force apply कर रहे हैं, frictional force opposite direction force apply कर रहा, दोनों balance करके रखा, both have balanced each other and I am able to walk easily. Suppose you have kicked football, यहाँ football है and you have kicked football, you have applied force in forward direction, but you have seen that football will go up to certain distance and it will stop over there. We have not done anything, हम लोग में से कोई भी उसको stop नहीं किया, but frictional force has played in that in opposite direction. That's why this ball has gone up to certain distance and it stops over there. So direction of the frictional force is opposite to the direction of the motion of the body. So this is your frictional force. तो frictional force को भी देखो, जब हम contact में आते हैं तभी होता है, नहीं तो नहीं. Suppose you want to rub your hand, just you rub your hand. As we are rubbing our hand, heat is developed, energy is developed. So what? जब कभी भी आप rub करोगे, this is only the frictional force. Opposite direction. क्या आप अपने हाथों को एक ही direction में rub कर सकते हो? नहीं. एक ऊपर एक नीचे, means one will oppose you, then another will go front, again one will oppose you, then another will go front. So this force is known as frictional force. Third one, students, for this third one you come mechanical force. बहुत easy, that we all are applying this. Mechanical force. Mechanical force is nothing but the force applied by machines. जैसे हम कार में जा रहे हैं तो इंजन इज अप्लाइंग फोर्स और हम आगे बढ़ जा रहे हैं, तो वेयर एवर force is applied by machines, that is known as mechanical force. Students, use homework is write the definition of muscular force, frictional force, mechanical force, and write 5 daily life example. And so okay, up to here we will do today.